right, so today you're starting Microsoft Word. This is the program that you're going to probably use the most to get your projects done, whether it be book reports, essays, whatever it is you're going to do for the remainder of your schooling career. The majority of it, I bet you're going to do with Microsoft Word or something like it. The way you'll get to Microsoft Word is you might have a shortcut down on your start bar. I'm not sure if Tech put that there. You will probably have to go to apps and you can see it out there. Either way, you get into Microsoft Word, and in Word 2013, when you first into the program, you what we call are kind of like cheat sheets. You know, say I needed a thank you card for someone. Well, I could just simply click that thank you card and push it and hit print, and it's going to print out a card for me. And there are far more templates to choose from than just what's listed here. You could search online up here in this box if you were looking for a recipe card template or a calendar template or whatever it was you were looking for. So you can use templates. We're not on this assignment, but I'm just kind of showing you an introduction to it. So we're going to do a blank document. Once you get into Word, it is split up into tabs. You have the File tab, and you can see that on the File tab you have all these options: Info, New, Open, Save, Save As. You can read it down the left side. You can get into Recent Documents over on the side. You can kind of see what's been done recently within Documents. You can also go to the Home tab. The Home tab has all of these buttons. If you're curious about what something does, you can just hover over it and it tells you what that button does. Microsoft is very user-friendly in that respect, because if you don't know, just point at it and it will tell you what it does. And there are many, many buttons that we are not even going to get to because this is an introductory class. The Insert tab, you can see all of the different options on Insert. Design, Page Layout, References, Mailings, Review, and View. So you can just go through, and if you can't remember where something is, just go through the tabs till you find what you're looking for. Most of the things we're going to be doing, especially on this assignment, are going to be located under the Home tab. Alright, so what about this assignment? Well, on this assignment, it's going to require that you go out onto the internet and you find something, in this case a nursery rhyme, and you copy it from the internet and you paste it into Word. With this being your first Word assignment, it's very basic. I just wanted you to be able to learn the basics, such as how to insert a picture, how to change the font, copy, paste, things like that, and do page borders. I believe that's all we're doing on this one. So the instructions tell you to go to the website that's on the sheet, which is teachnology.com/worksheet/early_childhood/nurse/. So you're going to be typing quite a bit, but here is the website that you're going to go to. I'll try and tiny it between now and tomorrow. I'll put a tiny URL for that one because that's kind of long. Alright, so here's all the different nursery rhymes that you have to choose from. There's actually 69 of them. You pick the one that you want to use. Like, I think I'll do, what do y'all want to do? Okay, we'll do Jack and Jill, thank you. And there's Jack and Jill. Okay, so I want to get this nursery rhyme from the internet. When you copy and paste, you either have to start at the beginning and go down, or you start at the end and go up. You cannot start in the middle and get it all in one fell swoop. Alright, so I have what I wanted selected. Then I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to go to Microsoft Word and paste it in. Now when you get ready to paste it in, you have three options. I chose to right click, okay? And now my options are keep source formatting, in which case it's the same font that it was on the web page that it came from. That's the source. You could merge formatting, which is where it just kind of takes on this plain default font for Microsoft is Calibri size 11, so that's what it's taking on. Or keep text only. For some reason it keeps it at Calibri, but it's spacing out the lines. I don't care which one you choose, just pick whichever one you like the best. I happen to like the way it looked on the website, so I'm going to go with that. Now, the instructions tell me that it has to be 1 page in length. How many pages is this? 2. If you were not sure, you could have scrolled down, or all you had to do was look in the lower left corner of the screen, and it tells you how many pages your document is. Get in the habit of looking at that before you print. if the thing is only supposed to be 1 page long, don't print that extra page. Don't waste my paper and my ink, because what will go on that extra page is your name. That's it. So you will have wasted a whole piece of paper for just your name if it was only supposed to be 1 page in length and you had that second page just kind of dangling out there. All right, so I need to obviously adjust my font because I'm on a second page and the instructions have told me that they cannot be. So I'm going to select it all. You can highlight it. You could also do Control A, and that selects the whole thing. However, just get all the font selected. Then instead of a 36, say I want it to be, you see the next number down is 28. Well, maybe I want it somewhere between 28 and 36. You can do that. All you have to do is highlight the 36, backspace, and type in the number you do want. Now that's a size 32 font. And look at that, it actually fits on 1 page. Okay? I need a title. How do I get my title up at the top?
Double click.
Well, I don't want it in the header. I'm going to hit enter right here. I'm going to hit enter and move down and then move back up, and I'm going to put my title centered. Jack and Jill. There. So now I have that in. Did I go on another page? I did go off onto another page, which means now I have to resize my font again. So instead of a 32, let's try 30. Yep, there we go. Nope, it says 2 pages. Let it refresh. There we go. Now it's 1. It just hadn't refreshed since I changed it. Okay, so questions about how to get that put in there. Now, we're going to use the header to put your name on this. That way, in case you do have multiple pages, you don't have to type your name multiple times. That's why you put your name in the header instead of just sticking it up here at the top of the page right there. If I put my name right there next to Jack's name, it would only print on that page. And if my paper just so happened to be 4 pages long and I lose those last 3 pages, like they're not stapled to it, nobody's going to know who the last 3 pages belong to. So that's why I make you always put it into the header. Lily, how do I put my name into the header? How do I get there? You could double click, but you have to know exactly where to put it. So, I mean, if you double click up here, it'll get you into the header. If you double click down here, am I in the header? No. So you just got to do that. And if you can't get there by double clicking, you can also go to Insert, and then you choose Header. Either way you get there. And then you're going to put in your name, the date, and the period number. And then you can either double click down in the body of the document or click right here to get out of header and footer, however you want to do it. Okay, so now we're out. We've got our name in the header, and look what it did. It put me onto another page. So now I could change the font again. I could go into page layout and margins and make my margins narrow and see if that would help. It actually did. It got me down to 1 page again. I could have made my font smaller too. It's whatever you do, just, make it be on 1 page. There's no specific font you have to do. All right, so now we've done that. Do you remember the books that when you were first learning to read, there would be like the word here, and then above the word would be a picture of it. So say what the word was tree, and you would see the word tree, and then there would be a tiny little picture of a tree above it. That was an effort to try and teach you that this tree that you know is a tree is spelled like this. Do y'all remember those kind of books?
Yes.
Well, that's what you're going to do with this nursery rhyme, except we're not going to keep the word underneath it. You're going to go down and you're going to pick at least 5 words that you're going to turn into pictures. So you're going to want to pick words that, make sense. You can't very well use the word Jack, because if you put a picture of a boy, how do you know that that boy is Jack? It could be Andrew, whatever. So you've got to pick words that everybody would recognize. So like, for example, I think hill would be a good one because I could get a picture of a hill. So the cool thing about Word 2013, which is the version that we're using, is a feature that they didn't have in any of the other previous Word programs, Microsoft Word, is if you highlight this word and then you go and get the picture, it will replace that word with the picture. In years past, it wouldn't do that. It would just stick the picture next to the word, and then you would have to try and figure out how to cover it up. So this is a really neat feature that they added. So I highlight the word hill, I go to Insert. It's not called Clip Art anymore. It's called Online Pictures, which is a good and a bad thing. Because if the internet is not working, can I access clip art? No. But that is the way they've done it. So you're going to use office.com clip art, and in this case I'm searching for a picture of a hill, and where's my search button? There, I hit enter because the search button didn't show up. Alright, so a hill, I don't know. What do you think? Here? Yeah, that's a good one. We'll do that one. Insert. And now I have this humongous picture, which that won't work. You have to resize it. When you resize an image, always grab the corner. If you grab the sides or the top or the bottom, you change the image overall quality. Like you'll make it, if you adjust the sides, you'll make it look like it's a thin, skinny, you can't even tell what it is, very thin and skinny. Or if you pull it out, it'll look flat like a pancake. But if you use the corner, it will keep all of the aspects of the picture maintained. And so I flipped it. Did y'all see that? Undo. I don't want inline with text. Undo. Let's just do it that way. The undo button. Now's as good a time as any to show you. Learn where this button is. Undo. If something does not go the way you want it to go, you click the undo button and it will get back the way it was. There's also this button over here next to it that you sometimes use called the redo button. In other words, if you undid something and you were like, no, I don't want to do that, I want to fix it back the way it was, then you hit the redo button. Learn where these are and it will make your life a whole lot simpler, okay? What I did was I hit undo because if you didn't notice, I flipped that picture upside down when I was trying to shrink it in. So I just hit undo and now I'm back to where I was and I'm trying to reduce it down. If you try to pull it too fast, it will go to that. See, I'm flipping it side to side, but that doesn't really matter. It'll try to go upside down in every which direction you don't want it to go. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, so Jack and Jill went up the hill, and you may have to do a little bit of thinking because your first inclination would be to say they went up what? The sun. That doesn't make any sense. To fetch a pail of water, so I could do a pail, or I don't know how I would do water. Which one do y'all want to do?
Water.
You want water? Okay, I'll try water. What am I doing? Sorry. All right, so I go highlight the word water. You got to remember to do it that way or you'll be having to get rid of those words later. Highlight the word water, insert, online pictures, and then right here I type in water. And for whatever reason, the search button's not showing up this class period. Just hit enter. Okay.
The one with the splashes water.
This one. Okay, so we're going to go with this one. Hit insert, and once again I have a humongous picture. Fetch a pail of water. Okay, so I've done 2. I have to do 5 of them. Jack fell down and broke his crown. That's a good one.
Does that mean the crown of his head?
I think that's what they're talking about.
Yes.
If you read some of these nursery rhymes, you'll go, they had little kids read this? Really? Okay. So crown, poor Jack has hurt himself.
Yeah, but it's still worse.
Oh, sorry, I chose this one. Oh, okay.
But not everybody has one.
Broke his crown. He's talking about your head, Landry.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Crown. All right, and then we do, we need 5 altogether. We've done 3. Jill came tumbling after. Up Jack got and home. I'm going to go home, I guess. Shh. Online pictures. Shh. All right. So we'll find a house. Shh.
Gingerbread house.
I'll go with that one. So you're going to do this for 5 pictures. I can tell you kind of, you're getting the gist of this. I have problems. Does anybody know what it is that's on the screen that's my problem? I'm 2 pages again. So now I have to select all my text and take it down to probably, let's try 28. Nope. 26. 26. Okay. The next thing you're going to learn how to do is a page border. On a document such as this, a page border looks way nicer than this. I mean, if you look at it, this is something that we're probably going to give to a little kid to try and read, and so we need it to be bordered out and have it look nice. This, it doesn't really matter if there's a border or not to it, which is why you don't always put a page border. The way you get a page border is you go to page layout, nope, used to be page layout, sorry. You go to design, and then way over here on the right, you choose page border. Now, you can do a page border that is lines, and you can see it'll just be double lines, and you can make the lines thicker, thinner, whatever. Or you can go down here to art, and you have everything from apples to cupcakes to candy corn to Christmas trees to music notes to stars to, I mean, look, there's tons. So you just pick whichever. I'm going to go random. Then, it's a house. Then you can click on this arrow here and control how fat the border is. Currently it's set at a 31, which is as big as it gets. If you take it down smaller, you can see over here on the little example how it's making the houses smaller. I'm going to try 22 just to see what it does. Okay, as you can see, it's too big. Two things are going on here. My name, I can't see it. I mean, it's cut off, and it has cut off part of Jack and Jill. So I'm going to need to make my border even smaller. Or, remember how I changed those margins to narrow? I could go back to page layout and take the margins to a normal, and that's going to fix part of it, but uh-oh, here we go again. Got to change my font again. You're going to do this a lot on this assignment. I like Control A. There we go. And I've got to fix my name too. So I'll go to a 24 will do it. Yeah. And is my name is still covered up, so now I've got to go back into page borders. Where was that? Design. And then page borders. And instead of 22, let me try an 18. Nope, a little more.
Let's go 15.
15 and yeah, it's good. All right, so I've done page borders. It fits on one page. I've changed at least 5 words to pictures. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to save it not only to documents on the computer, but I'm also going to save it to a thumb drive. I want you to learn how to save to both, because if you only know how to save to this computer, how in the world are you ever going to be able to get files from this computer to another one, or just simply have it backed up? I know there's a lot of cloud services that you can use too, but this week I'm going to focus on how to save to a thumb drive. So you're going to go to File, Save As, then you're going to Browse, and to put it on the thumb drive, you choose your thumb drive, which mine happens to be named L-Card F. Name it, your name, picture, paste, and you can see I've done it already today. And then save. Now it's going on to the thumb drive as soon as I choose replace it. When I click replace, the one I did first period will be gone. Now it no longer exists, I only have second periods. Alright, so I've saved it to my thumb drive. I also have to save it to documents on the computer. You go to File, Save As, Browse, and Documents. I suggest you create a folder in Documents that's named Word, so that all of these files that we're doing over the next 3 weeks will be saved there. And that way you don't have just a mess in your Documents folder. Me, I created a folder called Examples, and I'm going to put it in second period, and I'm going to save it, and yes, I'm going to replace it. Okay? Then, the next thing we need to do is print it. To print, you could add the quick print button on your toolbar up at the top. You don't currently have that. When you're signed in and you're in Microsoft Word, if you will click on this down arrow right here, you can choose quick print. What that does is when you click it, it will actually print out with one click. Now if I double click it, how many am I going to get? 2. We don't want 2, okay? Exactly. So that's a single click quick print. Otherwise, if you don't add that button to print, you go to File, then you go to Print, then you make sure it's actually printing it right, then you click Print. Okay? But understand, once you print it, it's yours. So make sure before you use that quick print that that's actually what you want. Okay? This will be the one you turn in. By the way, if you turn this one in to me, you're short one picture. You're supposed to have 5. So that would not be a good thing, right? That would be bad. So that is what we're going to be doing in class tomorrow. Does anybody have a question about those? Okay, good.